Good evening, madam. Our presentation topic is the impact of depreciation of Malaysia ringgit. Our group consists of 5 people and they are Chong Kavin, our leader, Chao Sheng Xuan, Lukman, Wong Yiting, and also Yulei Ting. I'm Wong Yiting and I will be presenting the introduction part. First, we need to know what is the similarities and differences between barter system and also currency. The similarities is that both of these systems are trading methods for human being. Barter system is a term that was being used by Asian people, whereas currency is what we use nowadays. Barter system is deemed unfair as it is a method of trading goods and services in return for something that they want. To fight this unjust system, currency was being introduced and is a method of trading using money which are readily available, reusable, and also efficient. Why is currency important? The first point is because currency stabilizes and improves the economy of a country since each country has its own value. Next, it also enhances the welfare of the citizens. The third reason is that the currency is an indication of economic strength in a country. Next, I'm going to talk about the birth of Malaysia ringgit. Malaysia ringgit was firstly introduced in 1967 to replace the British Borneo dollar. Since then, ringgit had became the medium of exchange in Malaysia and was once the strongest currency in Asia. But that is no longer the case due to the Asian financial crisis in 1997, which causes the currency to depreciate. Based on this graph, we can clearly see that the value of ringgit Malaysia has never risen above 0.26 for 5 years consecutively since the fall of the rate in 2005. There are few causes of the depreciation of Malaysia ringgit. The first cause is that citizens tend to purchase imported goods. The second cause is due to the fall of crude oil price. And the third is due to investors begin to lose confidence. And the fourth is the 1MDB scandal that was unfolded. Next, we will be presenting our discussion.
My name is Chao Sheng Xuan. Today, I will present about the negative impact of depreciation of Ringgit Malaysia. One of the negative impact is inflation. When the inflation occurs, it means that the price of the product and services such as groceries will be increased due to the increased cost of import goods. This will reduce the competitiveness of local business, especially for E&E sector, as most of the raw material are imported from foreign countries. When the inflation occurs, it will also reduce the purchasing power of consumer as their income is not increased. This will reduce the profit of business, especially for automotive industry as based on most of the people perception, car is a purchase that you can delay compared to daily necessities. When the income and profit of the company is decreased, it will cause most of the company, for example, Nada Group, Tesco, Intel, Seagate, Samsung AirAsia, and Malaysia Airlines, choose to lay off their employee in order to reduce their operational costs. This resulted in roughly more than 24,520 people lost their job in different sectors in over 5 years, which is from 2014 to 2019.
My name is Yulei Ting. Today, I want to talk about the impact of the depreciation of ringgit on Malaysia economy. One of the negative impact is it will affect the real estate market. Spending power of the ringgit become weaker and weaker overseas. The price of imported goods began to be affected, and the locals began to consume their own ringgit constantly. Many people choose the wait and see strategy when making last purchases, especially in real estate. They are even keen to buy real estate overseas during this period and obtain stable and passive income through rent collection without having to worry about the next currency change. All of this will lead to material costs and general inflation. So, what can we do to help the current situation? For home buyers, we are definitely in a period of reducing developer profits to major profit. The price of new properties is unlikely to fall in the next few years. So now is good time for buyers to bargain. Since there is no pressure to ensure that your house is getting a good rent, you can consider using convenience facility in a metro town for new projects.
I'm Shonkavi. I'm going to present about positive impact of the depreciation of ringgit on Malaysian economy. One of few positive impact is tourism boost. More foreign tourists will visit Malaysia due to the exchange rate that benefits them. Stronger currencies such as USD will be able to exchange more Malaysian ringgit when converting. This means that the foreign tourists will be willing to spend more and their buying power also increases because they get more from their home country currencies. Aside from that, the medical tourism also experiences influx of foreign patients. This is because the cost of getting the same medical treatment over there when compared to Malaysia is much more expensive. It's cheaper at Malaysia and the quality of the medical treatment is also good. Moreover, in the domestic tourism market, the locals will travel within the country because traveling overseas will require higher costs now. Another positive impact is the increase in foreign investments. Foreign investors will now invest more due to a lower cost. These investments will include various projects such as manufacturing facilities and factories. This means that more job opportunities will be created for the locals as these projects get approved. There will also be transfer of technology and development of human capital resources as Malaysia is able to get their hands on one of the latest technology and at the same time, locals are able to learn from the expatriates that get transferred over here to set up the companies. Some of the examples are Smith plus Nephew manufacturing facilities in Pulau Pinang and Intel Advanced Assembly and Testing Technology project. Besides that, positive exports growth is also one of the positive impact. The foreign market will import more from Malaysia due to a lower cost. For example, Malaysia exports experienced the strongest growth in 2017 when the rate of USD to Malaysia Ringgit is at all-time low. At the same time, job opportunities will be plentiful as manufacturing industry need more workers. The income for rural area farmers that plant commodities such as rubber and palm oil also increases due to increase in demand of these resources in the manufacturing sector. Moreover, another positive impact is the competitiveness in the domestic market is restored and local businesses is strengthened. The locals will now choose the local products as the imported products are much more expensive. This will mean that local brands will face less competition from imported brands and they have to compete among themselves and improve their quality. This will also give a chance for local brands to improve and stand among other imported products in the international market in the future.
Also, one of the positive impact will be monetary policy. The central bank may cut interest rate due to exchange rate application. Application is less inflationary pressure, so interest rate can be relatively low. Similarly, higher interest rate will also cause the currency to rise further. If the central bank believes that the application is too fast, they may lower interest rate to reduce the value of the currency.
Today, I will present my conclusion. My name is Roman. The depreciation of ringgit has been occurred 18 years ago, which is between 1997 to 1998 in Malaysia. In my opinion, there are several ways to increase the national currency. First, set GST to zero price. It was to ensure that domestic consumption is not crippled it to eliminate GST or at least set it zero for a period of time before purchase study is conducted. Second, stopping a mega project involves a crony. There are projects of Malaysia and Singapore high-speed train projects that have overestimated price. After that, stop hiring foreign workers is not unskilled. Reduce the number of unskilled foreign workers and expand it for machine and auto equipment. Besides that, there are two ways to avoid shock of ringgit. First, National Economic Recovery Plan. It was also called as the mitten that will help to recover Malaysia's economy from future deterioration and due to financial crisis. Lastly, method of currency exchange. Control it was to control over the selected currency exchange.
Before ending our presentation, we have a Q&A section that consists of several questions that we have prepared ourselves. The first question is, does the depreciation of Malaysia increases the percentage of poverty in Malaysia? Yes, it does. One of the reasons is because the depreciation of ringgit will cause inflation as we have stated in the discussion. For example, in 2016, household A has a net income of 1,000 ringgit per month, not listed under poverty list and able to purchase some necessities such as 10 tins of baby milk powder. However, in 2017, the rate of Malaysian ringgit falls and household A still has the same income, but now they are only able to purchase 8 tins of baby milk powder. Therefore, Malaysia might need to increase the poverty salary from 980 to a higher amount, which will include more households. The second question is, where does the Malaysia currency stand in Southeast Asia? As for now, Malaysia Ringgit is ranked in the top 5 among Southeast Asia countries. But the Indonesia, Rupiah and Thai baht are also coming out strong. In 2019, Thai baht was the strongest currency in Southeast Asia. And the Rupiah might emerge as the strongest currency in 2020, which is this year. Moving to the last question of our Q&A section, which is, does Malaysia experience more advantages or disadvantages from the depreciation of currency in long term? As stated in our discussion, Malaysia experienced both positive and negative impacts from the depreciation of currency. However, in recent years, we can actually see the foreign investments in other Asian countries also increase. Some of our foreign investors actually moved their factories over to countries such as Vietnam, Thailand, and Indonesia, as their labor cost is still much lower compared to Malaysia. And the facilities of their factories in Malaysia are getting outdated or getting more expensive to maintain, which is not very favorable in the eyes of the foreign investors. In the long term, the low cost will not be able to attract any more investment from foreign investors.